Hello and welcome to Tuesday's Tips. I'm Meg Rentschler from the Star Coach Show, and each and every week we bring you a new episode with strategies, tools, and resources to help you in the way that you coach, to help you in the way that you lead others, to lean into the concept of coaching. And Tuesday's Tips is a way to highlight the show that's going to come new tomorrow, because every Wednesday we get a new Star Coach episode, but also to give you some tips and strategies to think about in the way that you are engaging. Often, the Tuesday tips that I highlight have to do with the Wednesday show. And today is no exception to that. I want to talk about the power of our words, the power of communication, and how important certain aspects of our communication are to increase our level of confidence, but to also help other people build their confidence in us. What are we doing? How are we presenting in such a way that builds credibility and invites people into your world? Now, one of the things that we know to be true as coaches is that the words that we use are very powerful. The same word can mean different things to different people. We want to be able to use language, use words that are impactful, especially to the audience that we are trying to connect with, which is why when we are building a business as a coach, when we are a leader, we want to pay attention to the words that our audience or our team, our employees, whoever it is that we are trying to grab the attention of, what are the words that they use? So right now, let's talk about if you are an entrepreneur or you're in a place, and welcome, and I hope that you're excited to be here. I'm excited to have you here. So be sure to leave a message and say hello as you come into today's live. But we're talking about the power of words. So let's imagine that you are a solopreneur, an entrepreneur, somebody who is trying to get your service out in front of people. What is the value and the importance of the words that you use? Those words need to resonate with the audience that you're trying to connect with. So I strongly recommend that you pay attention to the words that your audience uses. Maybe do some market research about what are the needs that they have. What are the words that they use to describe their challenges, their struggles, their problems, the goals that they have, the vision that they have, what they're trying to reach. So words have power. And pay attention to the words that you use, not just in sessions, because coaches know about the importance of the words and using our clients' words. However, are you paying attention to that same thing when you're building your business, when you're getting your message out there about the work that you do with people and what it is that you do that meets the needs of the people that you work with? Use their language. It's building blocks to creating the kind of business that is going to attract people to you that need the kind of services that you're offering. Now, the second point, the first point is the power of the words that we use. Our second tip today is clarity of message. You want to be able to be clear about the message that you use in your communication. Confused minds don't buy. So eliminate ambiguity and confusion by getting very clear about what it is that you do, what it is that you deliver in the way of results, in the way of the kinds of people that you work with, what, once again, going back to their language, their words, what are the issues that they're dealing with, and what is it that you as a coach deliver in the way of results in the partnership with your client. When you spend the time to get clear about your message, first of all, what you're doing is you are getting rid of any ambiguity you might be feeling about what is it that I do? Who is it that I work with? Because I can coach anybody, and I hear that a lot. Yes, we probably can coach anybody. But when it comes to attracting people to what you do, you want to be super clear about who you work with. And once again, the results that you bring, what your process is. And it's not about telling people, I don't do that. I'm not going to give you answers. I'm going to just don't coach speak to people. Talk about the kinds of results you can create with them. I strongly recommend, if you haven't listened to my episode on the Star Coach Show called Value Proposition, if you go to starcoachshow.com and you search for shows and you put in value proposition, it will bring up that episode. And where I talk about using our language to create a clear message about the value that we bring as a coach. Okay, so power of words, clarity of message. And finally, what about the way that we're delivering our message? And this is where my guest tomorrow in tomorrow's show is going to really hone in. Bailey Massey is a communications expert. She is a speech and kind of messaging expert. And she's going to talk about articulation and enunciation, the pace of our speaking, and the fact that we communicate through far more than just our words. However, when we're using our words, how are we using our language in a way that is clearly understood by the ear? Are we mumbling? Are we speaking clearly? Are we enunciating our words? You will have a bigger impact and build better credibility and be invited to do more kinds of speaking if, in fact, you have good pace, you're able to be understood, and once again, we go back to you have a very clear message. So the way that you share your message through your body language as well as through the spoken word are absolutely key in people being confident in you and what you have to offer. But it also creates so much confidence within you when you're able to clearly communicate. That's what tomorrow's show is all about. And I certainly hope that you tune in and learn more from Bailey Massey. Now, my final tip for this Tuesday tips is consistency. When we are communicating our message, yes, we want to pay attention to the words we use. We want to pay attention to the clarity of our message. We want to be sure that we are communicating congruently with the body language that matches the words that we're offering, that we're enunciating, that we are being clear in the way that we are engaging with others. And then it comes down to consistency. Often we get busy, right? I've just done a house move. I'm still in the middle of the move. Talk about feeling scattered. If anybody's used to watching me, this background is not my normal background. I haven't put up anything yet on the walls. So that all interrupts consistency, right? And yet, even with that, I was bound and determined that I'm going to do my Tuesday tips. My show is going to come out tomorrow. I I want my audience to know that they will see me on Tuesday's tips, that they will have a new show delivered every Wednesday, that, they know that the Star Coach show is going to consistently come out to them. And so it's that consistency of message that is key to get you in front of the people who you've got to grow a know, like, trust factor with. So when you think about building trust, building confidence, building your visibility, a huge piece of that is consistency. What can you commit to doing? Now, you don't have to commit to doing something every single week. Maybe what you commit to is, I'm going to write a blog post once a month. I'm going to do a video once every other week. I mean, like, the cadence of it isn't what I'm encouraging. It's as much as pick a cadence and stick with it so that people can begin to see your consistency. Now, I have friends and other coaches that I know send a daily email every single day. They send an email to their list. That's not my cadence. However, their followers know that they're going to get an email every single day. And when that doesn't come, that breaks what people are used to looking for and a part of. So that's ambitious. A daily email is ambitious. And yet the people who pick to do that, they do it every single day. 8 years ago, I made a commitment to do a weekly podcast. And except for the 2-week holiday that's coming up, and I don't do it the week of Christmas and the week of New Year's, but in general, there's going to be a new Star Coach show every Wednesday. So pick your consistency and then put out your content consistently with clear message, words that matter to your audience. Be clear in the way that you're communicating. Be congruent in the way that you're communicating, and be consistent in the way that you are communicating. So these are just a few brief tips for Tuesday's tips. I hope that you are well. I've got to tell you that I've been doing interviews. I've got great shows lined up for you. And I'm super excited to be in this new house with a new setup. And once I get everything together, things are just going to continue to flow. But even in that, even when things are kind of bumpy and they're not exactly the way that I want them to be, it's important to be consistent and to bring forward the message that I have for you, which is, the world needs you. Whatever it is that you're doing, there are people who need that. And I just encourage you to keep getting your work into the world. Sometimes it's a heavy lift. Sometimes it can feel insurmountable. And yet, you can't be a secret and be a success at the same time. So get your message into the world. It will grow your confidence. It will grow the confidence in people towards you, and it will allow you to have the impact that you want. So until next Tuesday, this is Meg Rentschler wishing you the very best for this week's Tuesday tips. You take care.